Do you know what thorium is? Well, wait, it's not that. It actually looks like this. It may look like a pile of rocks, but it is actually much more. Now as we move into my lab, we can look at that element more closely. Here, we can see that the chemical symbol for thorium is Th. The number at the top is the atomic number, which tells us that each atom contains 90 protons and 90 electrons. But how many neutrons, you may ask? Well, from the atomic mass 232, we can find out that the most common atoms have 142 neutrons. Now that we have a sample here, we can look at the physical properties more closely. Just by looking at it, we can tell that it is normally a solid, and one thing to add is that it is classified as a metal. If we look closely, we can tell that thorium is soft, very ductile, and can be rolled. Another thing to add is that it is dimorphic, which means it has two states, and it changes states at 1480 degrees Celsius. Now as we get deeper, we can look at its chemical properties. On the table, we can see that thorium can be dissolved by acids. If at room temperature, thorium can react with oxygen to create thorium dioxide. And if it was contaminated by oxide, it will slowly tarnish in air from gray to black. Finally, powdered thorium is pyrophoric, which means it ignites by air. But it's definitely not going to be hotter than my mixtape. Now, as we look at the periodic table, we can see that thorium is part of the actinide group. Now you may be wondering who discovered thorium. Well, it's this man right here. His name is Jöns Jacobs Berzelius. Along with its founder, you may be wondering, how did it get its name? Well, I don't know either, but all I know is that it's originated from Thor, which is no surprise. It's probably because of the amount of energy in both of them, but we'll get to that later. Now that we're done with most of its background and information, we can talk about its uses. For starters, it fuels nuclear reactors. It's also a great substitute for uranium. Also, it can create an alloy that's both strong and light for aircraft. It can also be added to glass to make it into high quality lenses. And finally, it can make heat resistant ceramics. Now you may be wondering, how much is thorium? Well, it's $5,000 per kilogram. This is equal to 533 cheeseburgers. Now for the rest of the video, I'll just be naming off some facts I found interesting. Some facts are that thorium is found in thorite, and that thorium has more energy than uranium and fossil fuels. Also, people are constantly exposed to small amounts of thorium in the air, food, and water. So basically, thorium is everywhere. Thorium is also much more cleaner than uranium as it doesn't give off as much nuclear waste as uranium. And finally, thorium is more abundant than uranium. I hope you enjoyed learning about thorium. Thanks for watching.